What's up, homies? Hey, yo, Walnuts, what's up, bro? You are the first. I am here, my friend. I was just preparing to read and wait for the homies to pull up, but you beat me to it, man. Instantly got a notification. Hell yeah, bro. What were you up to before that, huh? We'll have some more homies come in here soon. Thank you for liking, bro. Watching streams, nice, dude. That's fun. Hey, Squirrel Sniper, liked first with intent. What's up, homie? So good to see you, Squirrel Sniper. How's your week been, man? It's good to be back here. Greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. I love that so much. That's such a classic from you, man. That's like your staple. I love it. Oh, how are you, bro? Walnuts, how are you, man? How's the week been? We find ourselves here on yet another Thursday Night Live. I just finished a talk about Plato's Cave. What is that? Plato's Cave. Walnut says good. Good, dude. I love to hear it, man. I've had a good week, too. I took Monday off to deal with some stuff that I had to deal with. So I was going to have to work Friday because I work Monday through Thursday. So I was going to do Tuesday through Friday. But your boy Northwood Shaman discovered that he has some PTO, and I am exhausted, so I am taking tomorrow off, so I'm chilling. I'm a fetus in the womb. I'm a fetus in the womb. What's a weekend? Walnuts, what do you mean? What, do you work 24/7 or something? Yeah, Squirrel Sniper, enlighten me on Plato's Cave. I've heard of that before, but I don't know what it is. I wish I had like my PC. I could look it up. Yeah. The story of Plato's Cave illustrates how people mistake sensory perceptions and accepted beliefs for reality, unaware of the true intellectual forms outside their limited experience. You want to know what that immediately made me think of? Hello, everybody. 45 people hanging out all of a sudden. My name is Devin. Welcome to my live stream where we talk about life, spirituality, self-transformation, and all that fun stuff. So if you want, keep on scrolling, but if not, you can hang out, join the family, talk about some shit, get to know each other. But yeah, right now we're going to talk about Squirrel Sniper bringing up Plato's Cave. What the heck, says 67 Eds. So yeah, Squirrel Sniper, what that just made me think of, bro, is it's actually, dude, it's literally something described in this book right here, Psycho-Cybernetics, where you come around a corner and all of a sudden you see a bear, and so your whole body fills with adrenaline and fear, and you get afraid, and rightfully so, fight or flight kicks in, and you run away. But what you thought was a bear, it actually turns out that it was just a stump. So, scientifically speaking, we would say, well, because you saw a bear, it triggered the fight or flight and your instincts took over and you ran away. But it wasn't a bear. You perceived that stump to be a bear and so acted accordingly. So the whole instinct thing was not based upon reality, but was based upon your perception of reality, or moreover, your misinterpretation of reality. It's the same story of where somebody mistakes a rope on the ground as a snake and therefore gets afraid of it. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting how our perception paints our reaction to reality? You know what I mean? Where honestly, in a way, we're not even viewing reality. We're viewing our interpretation of reality. That's kind of what relativity is. We're not seeing reality. We're not seeing reality as it is. We're seeing reality as we are. That's a Cook background. I take it you meant cool. Yeah, dude, I love it. I got my plants. I had this plant right here was just a tiny little cutting when I got it, and it's fucking huge now. Look how big the leaves are. It's huge. Sounds like the movie Flashback. I've never seen it. I thought you were a lesbian. How do you know I'm not? It's all about misinterpretation and unawareness. Yeah. Does it make walnuts? Yes, it does. It does. That cool is man. Oh, geez. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. You see in reality what you're looking for. You know? So you talk about life sucks, or the world sucks. What you do when you feed that into your mind is constantly trying to seek out things that fulfill the story it's telling yourself. So if you say life sucks, or people are horrible, or I'll never find a partner, or everybody I get with uses me and leaves me, or I'll never be financially free, or whatever it is, whatever prompt you're feeding into your system, your mind and body works like a heat-seeking missile that's going to try and find that target out in the world. So you're going to seemingly sift through all the stuff that goes against the narrative you're telling yourself. That's what confirmation bias is, by the way, where you say, everyone is, people are horrible, and then somebody's nice to you and you just disregard it and you ignore it. You go, la la la, I didn't see that. And then you find that person that's horrible and you go, see? Or you have the story that I can never find a healthy partner. I keep attracting unhealthy, toxic partners that use me and abuse me and all this stuff, right? So somebody comes into your life that's actually a healthy partner. They love you. They don't plan to go. But because that's unfamiliar and not congruent with the story you're telling yourself, because the story you're telling yourself is saying, I only attract unhealthy partners. Why? All I attract is unhealthy, toxic partners, whatever it is. Because they go against that story, you're going to do what's called self-sabotage. You're going to find a way to push them away so that you can find somebody that's in line with that story. And then you find an unhealthy partner so that you can feel right. A lot of us would rather feel right and miserable than free because we're willing to let go of the story we're telling ourselves about reality, And the same thing goes for if you're saying, I'll never have a partner, or I'm unlovable, and then somebody comes along and they fucking love you, because that's so inconsistent with the story you're telling yourself, you'll find a way to push them away so that you can return back to the story, the paradigm you're telling yourself of I'm unlovable. You see? It's far out. My beautiful mother is here. Yo. The spiritual witch. Everybody give the spiritual witch some love. Yeah, our body even produces different chemicals to give what you think. So don't say negative things and believe it's reality. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Y'all know that feeling of you remember something you did in the past that was cringy and you feel embarrassed about it again? Or maybe you got in an argument with that person the other day, and while you're in the shower, you're ruminating on it, thinking about what you should have said, and you almost feel emotionally and physically activated about it still. That's showing you that your recollection of something or your projection of something that's to happen creates that same finalized emotional outcome within your body. That's why so many of us drag our fucking past along with us for years and years and years, is because we're stuck narrating a negative story to ourselves, which is keeping all that emotional intensity alive, when it doesn't have to be there. This comment right here. Apparently my stream had the power to make this guy walk. I love it. Oh, I love it, man. Let's give some love to Mike Ox Long. Let's go. We got some brilliant people in the chat today. As a straight Satanist from Alaska, I believe that everyone should be treated as a person and be loved for who they are and not be judged by looks, but by personality. Fine by me. You need a mod, Devin. Well, Squirrel Sniper, you're going to be the mod. Let's go. Add as moderator. This is up to you now, managing moderator. It's all you, bro. Some nasty little people in here. I know, dude. It's cringy. Yeah, Squirrel Sniper, feel free to eradicate this live stream of anybody that you feel should not be here. Hey, you are cute. I still cringe to this day. About what? Oh, wait. I'm just seeing it now. I remember when I was 7 and said, "You're 9. How are you drinking root beer?" I thought it was real beer, and she was 12. I don't get it. 10 weeks vape free. Yay. Hell yeah, dude. I love your weave, bro. Thank you. Yeah, get rid of free speech. This is crazy, bro. Well, you know what? Cody Grinds. There's also something called freedom of expression where I can just block you. You know what I mean? Because I'm not enjoying the negative comment. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I yelled that in a restaurant, by the way. Dude, these chats are like brain rot tonight. What is this? What is YouTube recommending me to? This is rough. Squirrel Sniper is doing work. It's my birthday. Bro, I watched DMT Trip Report last night after I tripped, and now I see you. Yo, how was the experience, bro? And what report did you hear about? It's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Lil Ray Ray. I'm looking for any sign of an intelligent comment. It's kind of hard. In the depths of Plato Cave, the prisoners had been born in the cave, chained in a way they cannot turn around, and they only face the real wall of the dark cave. Behind them is a walkway. Yeah, that's interesting. Little cringies, we love the little cringies. Earth is flat. Let's go, dude. Please tell me you're not just rage baiting and you actually think the earth is flat. That's more interesting than the rage baiting. Oh my god, dude. What is this live stream right now? If this isn't a good sampling of where we're at as a society, I don't know what it is. It's not flat, it's level. Mercury is it actually? Did you know the northern lights were out the past couple days? I can't prove the flatness, but it's definitely not a globe. So what makes you think that, bro? Like, that's honestly like a really good talking point in comparison to what's actually going on here in the chat. So let's talk about it, bro. What makes you feel like the earth is definitely not a globe? I think top 5 DMT trip report or something. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that video is kind of popping off, man. It was a good video, man, talking about the craziest trips I've ever had with DMT. Just stick a stick in the ground and watch the shadow. Well, there's probably some sort of story revolved around that where it makes sense to the flat earthers, you know. What gets me is when they start talking about how the moon is a holographic projection and the stars are like pinholes in the fucking, what do they call it? I don't even know. It's a sundial. Communication is whack. What do you mean? For real. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't understand. So that's the thing with a lot of conspiracy theories is they go, the earth is flat, the earth is fucking flat, and they're hiding it from us, and you say, okay, but why do they need us to think the earth is flat? Like, What? I get it. Power hungry, control the earth, money, all this kind of stuff. But what are they gaining from telling us that the earth is flat as opposed to a globe? What is changing in the realm of power and control? Can't they do that with the earth as a fucking globe? Why would they lie about that? That's what I'm saying. It changes nothing, exactly. So you believe whatever NASA says, not directly, but I think the overarching narrative as far as physics and astronomy and geology is true. Like, I think I wouldn't doubt that we're hiding shit, like fucking UFOs and maybe like underwater stuff or lost civilization. I don't doubt that stuff, but I don't think that they're like the pretending the earth is round for what? That's what I'm fucking wondering. What are you getting from that? Why would they make such a conspiracy? Hiding source, Devin. Squirrel Sniper, are you a flat earther? I will respectfully ask you that. Not a globe. Oh no, Walnuts, are you a flat earther? To separate us from God. So, okay, Eddie, what changes our connection with God based upon the shape of the earth? That's what I'm curious about. To separate us from what does a flat earth, how does a flat earth keep us in touch with God? And so the power hungry whoever's go, oh shit, we gotta make them think it's a globe. Do you see how it doesn't make any fucking sense? Maybe, yeah, sure, maybe I'm not literate on something in the Bible. Means Genesis is wrong. So because a globe goes against what is Genesis based in Christianity? Because the idea of a globe goes against the story of Christianity, the idea of the globe must have been source trying to disconnect us from God, rather than an ancient civilization not being able to know the shape of the fucking earth. You see what I'm saying? The firmament doesn't exist. That's the word I was looking for. Heaven is further away. So heaven is out in space. To me, heaven is a state of consciousness. Bro, the flat earth thing is just because we can't see but 15 miles before it curves. Flat earth, the theory of flat earth, like what happens if they fucking give you a trip to outer space and you see the globe? What are you going to do? We could be converting flat earthers one after another today, bro. Like, the idea of saying the earth is flat because I can't see the curve is like saying behind me doesn't exist unless I see it. It doesn't exist. Where is it? And then when I look here, I can see behind me because of the camera. But when I look over here, it doesn't exist anymore because I'm not perceiving it. Just because you're not seeing it, and just because you can't perceive it, doesn't mean it doesn't fucking exist. Flat Earth debunks Big Bang Theory and hence the creation of the Creator. The Big Bang Theory, to me, is not the beginning of the creator of the universe, you know? But they will not give the trip. There's a reason. Okay, hold on. Everything in space is a fear. I know. I'm right there with you, Chris. They still don't believe it. The term flat is the trigger for the heliocentric model. Water is level. We don't know what shape external, as we can only go to low Earth's orbit. Squirrel Sniper, so you are a flat earther? If it's a realm, you cannot measure a realm. Are you talking about my comment about heaven being a state of consciousness? I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Faith Vincent says, hey, low-key love the background. Well, thank you so much, man. I got my big-ass Monstera plant. Look how big this baby is. Look at that. That thing's huge. The leaves are like this big. I got that thing when I was a little cutting. I love that show. Have you been to Kennedy Space Center? It's all fake. Eddie, are you the one saying it's fake so that they can keep us away from God? I'm a global skeptic. So I am a very spiritual individual, and I am a God-driven individual. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I believe that reincarnation could be real, heaven, or not heaven, but like an afterlife could be real. I'm one of the most I'm about as far out as it gets, but I don't think scientists and physicists and astronomers are just blowing smoke up our ass with their lifetime dedicated studies of the physical universe. I respect them in that regard. You know? I also will say, I don't doubt that the government and mass fucking people, like New World Order fucking controller type stuff, I don't doubt that they lie. I don't doubt that they're covering stuff up. But do I think the earth is flat? No. Do I think that the people I'm referring to are reptiles? No. I think humans have a lot of time to fucking think because they don't know, and so they come up with some whack shit. Then why do they all sign non-disclosure agreements? Who? NASA or something? Probably because when they start sharing the wild shit that they have discovered, it starts resulting in people like you and people like others that think they're fucking reptiles and the earth is hollow and the moon is a hologram. Because when they start sharing shit, it starts making human beings go crazy. I think the NDAs, if anything, have to do with a sense of, obviously there's some shisty, shady shit, for sure. I don't want to disregard that. But also, I feel like a little bit has to do with just a fucking modesty or maturity in not sharing something that mass society could misinterpret. The bottom line is we don't know what the truth about this realm may be because we are not supposed to know about it. Yeah, like my mom said. Yes, I agree. Devin, Apollo. Oh, why did that? Why is NASA the largest purchaser of helium? I don't know. Tell me why. Why is NASA the largest purchaser of helium? Like Mama said, yeah, dude. That's Spiritual Witch is my mom, by the way. Sataloons. Oh, I get it. Are you Mexican? Yes, I am. Don't hurt me, please. Never said anything about reptiles. You're the one going crazy. No, I'm referencing the people, not necessarily you. I mean, I take it you're a flat earther. And that, in my opinion, is one of those things that's like a little bit out there. But even more so out there are the people that think the higher ones are reptilians that feed on children's blood and shit. You know what I'm saying? You're white. Good try. Yeah. Oscar Rose. Yo, Oscar Rose, what's good, man? Something just fucking fell downstairs. The shape of the earth is not relevant. There are more important issues to put thought into. Exactly. Rather than asking questions like, why is NASA the biggest purchaser of helium? You know what I'm saying? I think there's much more important things to be focusing on. I was accepted to UA Aerospace program with the Wildcat Scholarship. Not a flat earther, just skeptical. Okay, my bad. I take that back. I assumed that with everything you were saying, you were a flat earther. But in my opinion, bro, rationally speaking, I'm more skeptical of a flat earther than I am the general consensus that the earth is a globe and gravity pulling shit together and stars and orbiting, you know what I mean? If you're skeptical and you're a rational skeptic, don't you think flat earth is one of, like, about as wild as it fucking gets? Same thing, if any of you know Terence McKenna, he was a huge proponent of psychedelics and he had some really far out thoughts. And he said to assume that the universe sprang out of nowhere for no reason instantly is as far out as it gets. And that's what the renowned, trustworthy scientists of our time say, is that all of this exploded out of nowhere for no reason instantly. Existence. If you can believe that, you can fucking believe anything. God created everything. I completely agree with that. He was a fairy. We got some mad fucking chats coming in. Correction, scientists, at least most of them, actually don't accept the Big Bang. Really? What is it these days then? Why is Antarctica not allowed to be explored off bases? Why does every country in the UN agree not to explore? Why do you think? What are you pointing towards by asking those kinds of questions? Because I'm curious about the same thing. But the difference, though, is that it doesn't lead me in a particular direction. It's just a question. Why aren't we allowed to go to Antarctica? My sorcery comes from source. I love it. I'm an old-fashioned Cajun down here in Louisiana. I've been around long enough to know what comes around goes back around. I love that. Do you think God lives within humans, or are we just sentient because of luck? Fuck no. I think everything is God, and I don't think our sentience is luck. I think our sentience is intentional. This moment right now is completely intentional. For what? I don't know. But to imagine existence itself is luck. Come on. The idea of luck is like a roll of the dice in life. We're talking about existence, bro. If being aware and being sentient is luck, what the fuck kind of luck was needed for existence to occur then? There's no way, in my mind, personally, there is no way that this is an accident. And if it's an accident, man, God's got a really good sense of humor. All right, I'm down at the bottom. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Stop lying. About what? The mainly accepted thing is that when the universe was expanding, time was also expanding, so it instantly went out while also technically growing slowly. It's complicated. But where did it come from? Aren't we still all kind of going off of the consensus that it just exploded? You know? It's not cold in Antarctica. Only gets 1 to 3 inches of snow a year. What? No way. How do we call in? Dude, I wish we can do it on different platforms, but not this one. Ice wall theory. Squirrel Sniper, thank you so much, bro, for all the moderation. That's killer. That genuinely is helping read through all these chats. Is America your favorite country? I don't have a favorite country. It comes from the idea of materialism. What does? Exactly. Bust your cheeks. I like your username. Sup, lady? Sup, ma'am? It came from, it was always their ending. Or are you saying the Big Bang Theory came from materialism? What do you think about the 21st century? I don't know. Pretty far out. Because there could be more land masses beyond Antarctica. Squirrel Sniper is the boss. I know, I love it. He's keeping it clean in here, and I love it. Chad Brooks, Knoxville, Tennessee. What's up, y'all? How you doing, Chad Brooks? Welcome to the live stream, man. By the way, everybody, my name is Devin. I run the YouTube channel Northwood Shaman, where I talk about spirituality, psychology, and self-transformation. And yeah, every Thursday I go live and hang out with the homies and meet new people like you. And basically just talk about whatever the hell comes up. God, science, fucking spirituality, flat earth, like basically whatever is on the agenda for all of us as a collective is what we talk about. The modern physicalists argument is that particles have behavior due to physical properties and don't abide by any higher logical programming. It ends with an infinite regress of magic. What does that mean? That's an interesting statement. Let's talk about how we never went to the moon. All right. Went to the moon. I think I said meant. Let's talk about it. Why don't you think we went to the moon? I mean, yeah, the footage is cringe as fuck, and why haven't we been back? I agree. It's very cold in Antarctica. It's so cold that the reason it doesn't get rain is because the rain ends in the ocean. In Antarctica, there's no rain because it's very dry. Fuck. Do you like Nintendo, Zelda, Mario? Not really. No. Let's talk about the synagogue of Satan is still alive and well. Let's talk about the real enemy of humanity. Bro, let's not dive deep into scientific. No, let's do it. I would love to dive deep into scientific stuff. I love yapping. Same. It was established in the 1940s that the moon is plasma. What do you mean? Because we can't leave Earth. Prime, what is that in reference to? Sorry if I'm getting some of these chats out of order. The firmament splits the heavens from above and the heavens of below. So, are you referring to a physical thing where, like, yeah, fake space? Okay, so space isn't real. Heaven is out beyond us. What's heaven? Tell me about heaven. Lucifer fell in the hexagram of the dodecahedron, trapped him, and created Satan. What? How is Mars a spherical planet, but the Earth is flat? How is the moon a sphere if we are flat? That's what I'm saying. I'm completely under the impression that Earth and all the planets and the sun is spherical. Galaxies are like a disc because they're getting sucked in, you know, like a whirlpool, you know, the surface of a whirlpool. What do your finger tattoos mean? It says Ram in Hindi. It's like a Hindu god, Ram. And the idea of it is like a mantra, repetition, Ram, 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 Ram. And yeah, I fuck with Hinduism pretty heavy. We can't pass through the Van Allen belt. You can call it what you want, but there is the Van Allen belt. I mean, I feel like I can say the same thing. You can call it what you want, but like, haven't we been through it? None of us know what planet looks like. We are told about it and believe it. Yeah, from a subjective experience, that's true. But what about the people that have gone out, bro? Do you disregard their subjective experience because they're like a paid actor in a fucking conspiracy? So galaxy is a disk, but Earth can't be? Interesting. Well, I see what you're saying, but the galaxy is like a massive, like, it's like, think of shit being sucked into a fucking toilet bowl or a whirlpool, you know? Where it's sucking stuff into it, you know what I mean? It's not like we're saying like flat galaxy theory, you know what I mean? It's all a lie. For what? That's my main question when it comes to the flat Earth and Earth and space is fake. For what? What do they get from that? What do they get out of this fallacy that the Earth is a sphere? What's so inherently dangerous to them about us knowing that the Earth is flat? What's the big deal? All that said, to gone out, the Apollo crew members are Freemasonic. The CIA has a department of theatrics. What does that mean to you? Does that mean they're all actors? Why is there horizons? What do you think of the theory that all religions are true and correct and lead to the same creator? To the extent that a religion is understood at its core, and not interpreted by word of mouth and distorted human minds, I agree. I think we all kind of realize the same fucking thing at the end of the day. These saints and the proponents of all these different religions, and then they go and tell people about it. They say, "Dude, like life is fucking crazy," put simply, and then it turns into like a game of telephone where it runs down the line, and everything gets misconstrued, and then it turns into a big club. Don't do that. Only do this. If you're not in the club, you're wrong, and all this stupid human level stuff. But that's not what God is, and that's not what these people who knew God meant in sharing it with their fellow brothers and sisters. Imagine trying to keep hundreds of thousands of people quiet, and that worked on Apollo if it was all fake. I know, I agree. Superstar said, "Hi, what's up, brother?" I'm down at the bottom. Jacob Studer said, "Hello, what's up, man?" The religions are all clearly describing the same thing from different perspectives. Yeah, I completely agree. Buddha is Krishna, is Muhammad, is Jesus, is Ra, is God. Yep. Fuck yeah. He was commanded on high to kneel before the flawless creation. We are the flawless creation. I like the sound of that. Where's that coming from? Remember why Lucifer lost his heavenly title of light bearer and the angel of music and was cast down to the frozen lake? Make some ASMR. I don't know if I can. Bruh can't even compare the others to Jesus. What do you mean? Are you saying Jesus is the best in a roundabout kind of way? Roman Tingle. What if I say I tried to see the face of Christ in everyone? Mm-hmm. None suffered more than he did. Yeah, I knew we were going in this direction. Listen, I appreciate the story and the legacy of Jesus, but is he the only one that got it? No. No. Not at all. Jesus is our true Father, if you're a Christian. This is as old as time immemorial. Jesus was a sage. That is like in line with how I feel, for sure. He was a saint. He was a realized being. And his death caused an uproar. He was the only one that was sinless. He was the only one that got it. No, he wasn't. I wholeheartedly feel in like that he was not the only one that got it. I think he did not say, "I believe everything I say and only me." Doesn't that seem like obsessed, fanatical human beings looking at someone they're idealizing rather than the statement of an actual realized being? Like, think about it. Jesus saying, "I am the Son of God." He probably was fucking mind blown. Oh my God, I'm the fucking Son of God. He wasn't saying, "You're not the Son of God." He was saying, "Damn, I'll be damned, bro. I'm the Son of God." Probably in a roundabout way saying, "Did you know we're all the children of God?" And everybody took it as, "Oh my God, Jesus is the one." You know? He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Okay, so that's what gets really deep for me about like the statement of "I am." Your "I am," your isnness is the way, the truth, the life. Not that dude that died on the cross. You know? He was fucking killed. Like, I don't know much about the history of Jesus, but he got fucking crucified because he was being blasphemous. He was saying, "I am the Son of God." He was mind blown. He was blown out. He woke up. Oh my God, I'm the Son of fucking God. I am, you know? Be still and know that I am. You see what I'm saying? You should read about him. I've never had a super deep calling to study Christianity. He challenged the Pharisees. Damn, Jesus got blown out. Did you know the word nirvana means blown out? He challenged the status quo, exactly. Oh, Father, why have you forsaken me? He was one of us and didn't have all the answers either. He was a creation the same as us. Yeah, and every single one of us right here, right now, if we look deeply enough and we quiet down enough, can begin to see, feel, and experience the very same things that Christ did. Realizing that you too are a son or daughter of God. You are a manifestation of God. You're not separate from God. That's what Jesus realized. I am not separate from God. I am a child born of God. You know? And being able to perform miracles, you know, it's funny because I talk about being skeptical as far as the flat earth stuff goes, but I completely believe that human beings are able to do things that scientists and this kind of stuff say is physically impossible. Like fucking walking on water, or making things appear and disappear, or levitating, or being able to not breathe, or being able to teleport and translocate. You know, I believe that stuff is possible. Hi, I'm new here. I have a question. What do you do if someone sends you $36,000? Well, I'll probably invest it. That's what I would do. We all vibrate on the same level. We are words and emotions. Oh, yeah. We all vibrate on the same level. We are words and emotions. Oh, I'm having a hard time. Our words and emotions resonate. I think I know what you're saying. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings and God of God. We are not the same as him. I mean, you could be if you realized what he did. West Ham are massive everywhere you go. No, the concept of an external savior is required for it to work. If people didn't have that and were purely logically, morally consistent, it would lead to antinatalism. I do not know what that is. Drugs are the best. What kind of drugs? No, we are not the same frequency because so many are on evil energy. Well, that's because they've deviated from what God knew or what Jesus knew. Not because it's not capable for them. It's because they're not aware of who they are. All right, I'm out, got exercise. Everyone in here should start stretching each and every day. Thank you, M. Gray. Stretching is life. Thank you for hanging out, bro, and thank you for the constructive comments. Brad Collins says, shroomies. Yeah, psychedelics are very interesting chemicals for sure. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you, Elena. Jesus was born to a human just like us. If he was different, he would just appeared instead of growing up the same as us. Got you subbed, bro. Thank you so much, man. Diamond, you didn't understand the comment then. Like the radio and TV and has programming and diff energies. What are you saying, Diamond? You look old and young at the same time. That's funny. You're cute as fuck, bro. Thanks, man. Please break it down then. Squirrel Sniper, is Diamond responding to your comment about like, oh, let me find it. We all vibrate on the same level. We are words and emotions resonate. You deleted that comment with that guy saying I was beta. Let's talk about alpha and beta real quick. If you see the world through the lens of alphas and betas, you're most likely a beta. That's how it works. If you don't see alphas and betas around you, you're probably an alpha. Beta. Like if you go around trying to seek out the betas and the alphas, You're probably coming from some sort of either inferior or righteous standpoint, which are both not the behaviors of alpha-like people. An alpha is somebody who just is what they fucking are, and they're not worried about the hierarchy of, I'm an alpha, or, oh my god, am I being an alpha? Or, oh my god, look at that guy, he's so beta. Why? You're saying that because you think you're an alpha, and if you think you're an alpha, you're probably fucking not. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying here. That ASMR guy sent 100. What is that? Thank you. I don't know what that even is. Maybe I don't get that if you can explain. I got a Glock in my Rari. It's more complicated than alpha and beta and omega. Lisp can't go facial hair, dude. Lisp can't grow facial hair. Dude is whatever is worse than a beta. I need more grammar to understand that. Is that one sentence? Lisp can grow facial hair, dude, is whatever is worse than a beta. Is that a password or something? If you go around trying to explain it, you're probably R1. Trying to explain what? Don't listen to the haters. I try my best. Religions may be superficial bridges, but they can also operate as fundamental bridges. See, religions, dude, have beautiful methods within them. They're ways up the mountain, you know? And there's multiple ways up the mountain. Do you fast, bro? No, but my girlfriend does, and I've thought before about joining her on that when she is fasting, because I've heard it's really good for you at times. Grammar police 100% beta. Oh no, that's crazy, dude. Being literate is beta now. This dude is slow. I'm sorry, man. I'm just tending to multiple comments. We all have discernment. If we use it correctly, we all have been... Oh yeah, we all have discernment if we use it correctly. We all have been indoctrinated to a degree with so much dungeon programming, beliefs and disbeliefs. Squirrel Sniper, I'm so fucking glad you're adding, because you usually just pull up, hang out for a minute, and then dip out. And I love that you're actually engaging in the conversation. Get well soon. Thank you, Ian Madgun Mangham. Opinions on, what is that? Is that Israel? I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask about that. See, I don't live in that, I'll probably get criticized for this. I don't pay a lot of attention to what's going on in the world. Because when I do, my fucking energy drops. And then I'm not able to show up in the world in the way that is optimal for me to be of service to the world. And now that's not denial, that's energy management. Because what's going on in the world, that it is going on in the world. Me not paying attention to it doesn't change the fact that it's going on and that it's horrible. But me pouring into it causes my energy to get sapped and spun in a negative, cynical, fearful direction. So therefore, what I do have to offer to the world gets drained and blocked. So rather than spending my time investing into the horrible things going on in the world, I spend my time tending to the garden of my own mind and my health, mental, physical, and spiritual, and offering to people and educating myself and becoming informed on psychology and mysticism and self-development and working on ourselves, and then offering it. That's what I spend my time doing. I don't spend my time watching bummer fucking news, you know? So because of that, I don't have like a deeply informed opinion on that kind of stuff. A ship is in the ocean, the world. It sails upon it, navigates its currents, and interacts with it. But as long as the ship is properly built, the ocean is not in the ship. Dude, I fucking love that too. That's incredible. You ever read Carl Jung? I know some of his little one-liners and stuff, but I haven't looked into him very deeply. Thank you, brother. That is really... What is that? I can't... Gold advice. Devin, live in the world, never of the world. Yes. Studying the geopolitical formation of Israel is pretty disturbing. I don't doubt that, bruh. I genuinely don't doubt that. Guess what? What's up? Emily Ikes. I bet you got some sus shit to say. Just throwing that out there. Use better products on your hair. It looks like it was burned in a fire. I think it's because I haven't had a haircut in I've been growing my hair out since I was a fucking freshman, bro. Jesus loves you. Hell yeah. How about Julia's Evola? What is that? I don't know what that is. But you guys feel me on the... Some people get, their whole life is bad news. They focus on the drama and trying to sort it out and on what side they fall on. Jesus loves you. Hell yeah. Is that what I said? I mean, hell yeah, man. I don't doubt it. Fair. Thank me for it, but make sure less chemicals the better. Honestly, I don't argue with that. The chemicals that I put in my hair in my shampoo and conditioner probably aren't most ideal for my hair. I completely agree. And I hope it's not fucking shit up. Opinion on marijuana. I get the vibe you dabble. No offense. I used to dabble, so you're not too far off. I stopped smoking cannabis in 2021. And funny enough, I work in the cannabis industry. I'm a hash maker. That's what I do for a living, is I literally make hash. But legally, too. But no, I used to smoke weed. I smoked weed from about 12 to 22 years old. Never stopped, never took a break, smoked as much as I can. You were a very mature young woman. And in 2021, I took a... Oh, you shouldn't have deleted that one, Squirrel Sniper. That one was funny. Thank you for your service. In 2021, I took a 3-day break because I went somewhere where it was illegal, so I just didn't smoke. And then I came back, and then I was super excited to take a bong rip, as any stoner rightfully would be. And I took the bong rip, and I got so high that I was tripping out, and it was different. And so I woke up in the morning, and I was like, all right, I'm going to smoke weed again. And if I get that high again, I can't smoke weed like I used to. And I smoked again, and I got that high again. So I was like, I can't do this anymore the way I used to. You said it's called greening out. I thought greening out is getting physically sick from smoking weed way too much. I had a panic attack or something, and all of a sudden it was just different. THC was no longer the same. The people who curate our chemicals are doing the Lord's work. Fair enough, bro. I respect it. Yeah, and when I do use weed, which is very sparingly, I'll take a tiny little hit, and it's a beautiful experience. And I love it. It's so much better this way than for it to be something that I depend on and need to be there in order to have a good time when I'm hanging out with friends or going on a walk or going for a drive, or... You see what I'm saying? It's nice. It's nice to be able to use it as a tool to explore and to have a good time, not something that I need every day. What's the closest thing to a weed alternative? I don't know, nor would I recommend something. Thoughts on edibles? Way stronger than weed. If you want to really experience the power of weed, then take high doses of edibles, because it's completely different. Letty, try words. Should I leave? I am 11. Yeah, I'd get out of here. I set the live streams to no one younger than 18 allowed, but obviously you're here because people lie about their age. So yeah, keep it moving. Squirrel Sniper, I greatly appreciate you, for real. He certainly knows his THC. I do. I was incredibly passionate about cannabis for the longest time. Stella Cameron said hi. What's up, Stella? Anyone here ever done sauna? I highly recommend it. No, but I've looked into it. So Northwood Shaman, what do you believe happens after we die? First and foremost, this is the most important thing, I have no idea. But when I think about what do you believe happens after we die, I believe something happens. That's usually what I say. Something. I don't know what, but something. There is experience after the death of the body. You either go to heaven or hell. See, that's what, like, although I believe something happens and I don't know, I wouldn't go in the direction of thinking like that. Does pineapple belong on pizza? If it tastes good to you. Life begins when you die. Very interesting. Good answer. I agree. Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly, without any reservation, believe something happens when we die. Definitely not nothing. There is only room for one woman's attitude per house and a housing crisis. Wait, what? Heaven's a mess. Wait, Eric, what are you talking about? Stolen intelligence has no consciousness, therefore furthest from God as humanly possible. That's interesting. That's an interesting statement. I want to learn all about God without using a Bible. Meditation, prayer, worship, and common sense have always been a more comfortable study than any book commissioned by a king. Yes, and you can know God more so by sitting silently and feeling than you can by reading anything. You sit down and you get quiet and you let the thoughts naturally move through and away from you, and you will come into a place of spiritual experience. For sure. For sure. Maybe not the first time you sit down, maybe not the second time, maybe not for years, but there is a place within you. And I'm speaking from direct fucking experience. For me, there is a place within me where when I let it all go, I'm one with God. You know? And it's not like I'm having this fucking wild, like, whoa, trippy experience. I come into being. And being is the womb of existence. And you know that when you are there. I can feel my soul in my body using it. Wow, that's an interesting statement, man. It's being at peace with yourself. Yeah, and when you're at peace with yourself, a lot of shit disappears. If you don't like the birds or the bees, get mirrored solar panels. One, you're human. You can't be on the same level as God. Only if you're coming from the belief system of somebody who thinks that. If you think you can't be one with God, then you're right. You can't be. If you realize you are one with God, then you're right. You are. I'm trying to spread the gospel on live streams. That's good. That's good. I think God isn't so far away that you need to go out of your way to bring people to him, it, or her. You can't be as holy as Christ. Maybe not as holy and powerful and able to walk on water and shit, but to know that I am in the same seat of awareness that anybody and everybody and the all is, there's nothing wrong with that. Can God make a sandwich so big even he couldn't finish it? If he so chooses to make it like that, good luck out there. Thank you, Eric. So you believe in God 100%. 100%. But the God that I believe in is probably very foreign to you. It's not a man. It's not a woman. It's not a human being. It's not an alien. It's not Krishna. It's not Allah. It's not anything. God is reality itself right now. As you sit here and look into your screen, experiencing life, what you're experiencing is the awareness of God. What kind of God do you believe in? That's not, I don't know, I'm describing it. God is reality, yeah. God is reality. Daddy Elo says God is literally everything, exactly. We're all God. Everything is God. It's not, there is nothing that isn't God. Well said, Northwestern Shaman. Well said. Thank you, bro. I'm appreciating your comments. No, God is not reality, according to you. And God is reality, according to me. And that's how far out God and reality is, where somehow we're sitting here having different beliefs. And you're right and I'm right. Or we're both wrong or something. No, you're not God. You are not God. Okay. Nothing is divine. It is, isn't it? I love that. That's so good. I'm God. Shut it. So then you do believe in Allah or Vishnu. Nobody can handle what God has to say. I vibe with that to an extent. Jesus starved so everyone can get cheeseburgers and speak for him. How is God everything but also not something? Well, is everything something? What is everything? What would you call everything? Probably like reality or existence or something, right? Everything isn't something. Something is something inside of everything. Or I'm just right and you're wrong and you can't accept that. Could be. That sounds pretty far out of a statement to make, though. What is your life advice? Follow the thread of excitement in your heart of what you feel you're here to do. And don't fucking silence it. Don't silence that thread. If awareness of God is the experience of consciousness, then why is he defeated by basic anesthesia? What's defeated by anesthesia is recollection. Because all you become aware of is coming back from what? And then you say, I don't know, I can't remember. What's defeated is recollection. And it gets even further out because when you say, when I'm on anesthesia, nothing is happening. How the fuck do you know that? What knows that? Is it a lack of recollection once you're back? Or is it something in the nothing that's aware nothing's happening? Same thing when you wake up and you say, I didn't have any dreams last night. It was just deep sleep. How do you know that? Because you don't remember it. Or when somebody dies and comes back and they say nothing happens when you die. How do you know that? Do you see what I'm saying? Who was it that made that anesthesia comment? Yeah, Denver. Do you see what I'm saying, bro? These Christians are insufferable. You don't need to shove your beliefs down everyone's throats. That's what I'm saying. That's what, God was pretty hip. He didn't need you to go around and, force it on everybody. And that's not how you wake somebody up either. Think about therapy. Something as simple as therapy. You don't go, fucking get better, or you're gonna fucking go to hell. No, it's a process, and it's natural at that too. There's absolutely no evidence that people under the effects of anesthesia are capable of conscious thought or awareness, but more importantly, you can do it with more than anesthesia. So what would be the evidence of being capable of consciousness? What you're saying is basically the same thing as there is no evidence of people being capable of consciousness when they're dead. The lack of evidence comes directly from the fact that we don't know. You don't know if they're capable of consciousness or not. And the reason there's no evidence for it is because their physiological body isn't demonstrating the the activity of a conscious being. Not being able to know if anything happened, or saying, I don't know what happened, or saying, I wasn't aware, isn't the evidence that nothing was happening. You see? Hello, I'm not a Christian. Are you trying to say God doesn't exist? No, I'm saying the exact opposite. God absolutely exists, but it's not the God you're probably thinking of. Did Stella say something? Hold on. Your throats are clear enough to complain. No, you are not God or a creator, Squirrel Sniper. There can only be one creator. We are all the creator, for sure. How often do you read the Bible? I never have. Stella Cameron, my father created Mr. Hess, my God, I can see and physical feel. To my son, I gave him the life to be a God creator himself one day if he chooses. Which God? I believe in Jesus. So who are you? See, that's the thing. What are we talking about? I believe in this God. No, I believe in this God. This is the only real God. What the fuck are we talking about? I feel sorry for you. I will pray for you. Well, thank you. Thank you, Emily. And what's fascinating is your prayers will have an effect. They absolutely will have an effect. But will they bring me to what you think God is? Maybe not. God is not condemning. God is not restricting. God doesn't need you to go around and say, you need to follow him, or else. Your father is not God. When Jesus said, I am the Son of God, he didn't mean my biological father is God. And that's not what I'm saying either. If I say I am the Son of God or I am a child of, not my fucking biological father, bro. It, like, in the same way, space is like a womb that holds all of existence. You know? Well, yes, Jesus is God. No, I was asking, like, are you referring to the God the Muslims believe in, or Jesus Christ? Because, I mean, I don't understand why people have multiple gods instead of him. I only believe in one. I believe in one God, too, but it's not any of the named ones. It's a personal God. It's not a religious celebrity. What would you like me to pray about? Emily, I would like you to pray about what, like, from the sincerity of your heart, what you wish I would realize. Genuinely, I mean that too. God is an entity. Allah and God are the same. God is my dad, and you're adopted. Stella, Christians can't even argue on that. Your God has failed to underline who he even is. Okay, I'm going to right now. Thank you. God is my father. He adopted me. I am a child of God. I hope everyone here has forgiven themselves personally. But thou, when the prayest, enter into my... Can I say a verse? Sure. Oh, this is awesome, bro. Is Jesus God or not? I don't think Jesus, like Denver, like historically speaking, I don't think Jesus was the God. I think he was like a prophet. Ram Ram G. Yes, Ram Ram. That's some shit I get down with. What is that? I love that, mama. Ram Ram. Who sent a gift? Instead of seeking God, seek yourself. Seek what his purpose is for you, and you find him there. Daddy Ilo. I like everything you drop, bro. Just saying. Northwood Shaman, do you believe there is intelligent life in the universe, or there could be? 100%, for sure. For sure. Like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What if I kind of feel like our government is starting to release proof of sorts of creations that we didn't create, so therefore we don't know where the fuck they came from. But like, even if I didn't have that information, even if we didn't have that information, absolutely, dude, the universe is so fucking big and so magical, and so here we are. I don't think we're one in a infinity of a chance, you know. Hi, I'm new, bro squad. What's up, brother? Welcome to the stream. I saw that, mama. Religions are cultural traditions and rituals by definition. What's more rare, diamonds or trees? I don't know. That's a Jai Shri Ram. Yes, Ram Ram. What's up, homie? It's good to see you. Jesus is God in the flesh. Oh, shit. 100% I agree. Yeah, man. I love the questions. I can tell you Jesus is God in human form, so basically what he did, he humbled himself and became a human to die on the cross, our sins. So yes, Jesus is God. There are verses that back that up. What's up, y'all? Mr. Chicken and Dumb Fucker said hi. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. We're talking about radical Christianity right now. Correct answer is trees. No shit. Why is that, though? That's interesting. Roxy, but you can't use self-referential data. Buster Cheeks, it's a loop of an argument. You can't prove her wrong, bro. And she can't prove you wrong. Can you see how we're trying to apply like our own common sense. What seems common and rational to us is different depending on who you're asking. It's subjectivity. It's why you're you over there and I'm me over here, and I can't convince you you're me. You know, you have all the data and the proof in the world that, no, I'm me, and this is me in my life, and I'm over here, and you can't feel me pinching me, and it all makes sense. If it's impossible to disprove, it's not science. If you can't prove it wrong, it's not science. So what is there other than what okay, you got science, and then what's rest? If you can't disprove it, then what is it? Bullshit? Because I think like, okay, here's a good one. I think this is called the hard problem of consciousness. What if I'm a fucking AI robot, a really advanced AI robot? You're not aware of my self-awareness in the way that you're aware of yours. And you can't prove whether I'm sentient in here or not. All you're experiencing of me is I'm moving around, you see me, you hear me, and if I touch you, you feel me. But you have no proof of my sentient self-awareness in the way that you have proof of your sentient self-awareness. That's also a bit of what solipsism is talking about, of saying, I am the only one that exists because I can't prove any of you are actually real. So just because you can't prove that I am in here or not, that doesn't mean it's bullshit. Did I say that right? You can't prove that I'm self-aware, and you also can't disprove it either. So, but that doesn't mean I'm not in here. Does that make sense? Probably fucking not. Wait, I just joined what? Who knows? I don't even know what's going on. Did Mr. Beast just join my live stream? I'm just kidding. You need to repent. Are you going to hell? Why are there so many fucking radical Christians in the chat? Not being able to prove a hypothesis is true parapsychology. What does that mean? I don't know what that word means. What's tatted on your fingers? Ram. It says Ram in Hindi. I think it's mirrored. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Let me show you. Hold on. See it? Ram. Ram, Ram, Ram. Dude, they are bots. Who are? Tell people they're going to hell will only punish them away, bro. Push them away, right? Prove your intelligence. Show us your meat. Oh, you got me. I'm just kidding. Tough. It's a funny way. What does Ram mean? Ram is a Hindu god. You know, Krishna, Shiva. Ram is a Hindu god. And I fuck with Hinduism pretty hardcore. And yeah, dude. Ram is like, the idea of it is repetition, like a mantra. So it's like Ram, like Ram, 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 Ram. The repetition. So that's the on every finger. Ram, 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 Ram. It's like a name of God. W. That's hilarious. I can't prove it, but my thoughts can be broken up into brain activity and then compared with yours. You can't find a thought in brain activity. You can't. You can't track your stream of consciousness. Different areas of your brain will light up and respond while you're thinking, and when you think about something else and engage in a different field of your own consciousness, different areas of your brain will light up. But you can't find a fucking thought in your neurons. Your thought isn't this little chemical being passed from one little synapse to the next. It's not like that. And if so, think about this. If that's the fucking case, we're talking about a physical event creating existence and awareness. Make it make sense. I'm going to pray right now. Does anyone else want to pray with me? No, but that's kind of what he's saying. The thoughts do kind of get broken up into brain activity that you can measure and document. No, you think about certain shit and different parts of your brain light up and flash and flicker and shit. No, you can't. Thoughts are metaphysical. This exact topic is called materialism of consciousness. Never been proven, probably can't. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. You can't, just because your hypothalamus lights up when you think about fucking that girl you met in the past or whatever, doesn't mean you found the thought. You know? Where do the thoughts come from? Why do they happen on their own? Why can't you control them and stop them and this kind of stuff? And why can't, you see what I'm saying? A thought isn't a physical thing. It's metaphysical, exactly as Buster Cheek says. Emily Ike said, bye. There is no thought particle. Yeah, for sure. Are you Jewish? No. Okay, yes, I do see what you're saying. That's awesome. Hell yeah. That's the most like open-minded comment I've seen in the fucking chat, bro. I do see what you're saying. That's hilarious. Moreover, the fact that, again, you can alter consciousness by altering the brain shows that consciousness doesn't exist beyond the brain. No, you alter perception of consciousness, bro. You're not altering consciousness. You're aware of an altered perception when you fuck with the brain. Awareness is awareness is awareness is awareness. What you're aware of is what changes. In the same thing that a mirror reflects what's in front of it, but the mirror can be dirty and scratched and cracked, that doesn't mean that what you see in that fucked up reflection is what reality is. It means the thing that's reflecting is fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So when you fuck with the brain and you take chemicals or drugs or whatever, and you do stuff to your perception, you're distorting your perception of reality. And consciousness is like an eye looking through the lens of your mind and brain. It's like your brain is receiving it and projecting it through it. So when you fuck with the brain, you fuck with the image. Are you an atheist or agnostic? Just asking. What's an agnostic? I always forget what that means. I will be praying for you and everyone in this chat. Thank you, for real. Your consciousness produces thought, and parapsychology is the study of all things beyond our comprehensive beliefs. I love that. That sounds awesome. Haven't found it yet, therefore doth not exist. If a particle is a wave, you can source where it came from. So if you could track many, many neurons in real time, you would find patterns. But why did cells build religious centers? That's pretty funny. Consciousness does not exist outside of the brain like images exist if you're blind. I don't know how I feel about that. Oops. God spoke to me last Saturday after I had a wholesome... after I had a wholesome day with family healing, and I looked up at a perfect sky, and God said to me, just the way you like it. Like the sky was a reward for my growth. That's so beautiful. I love that so much. What do you think of Alan Watts? He is part of why I am the way I am, for sure. Did you change your background, bro? Alan Watts, Ram Dass, Terence McKenna. That's the trio right there. What are you saying, Denver Beak? I can see God in the endocannabinoid system found in his creations. What do you mean? Agnostics were said to be the first Vistorator. What are you saying, Denver? Hold on. I feel like it keeps cutting out particular comments you're making. The original name was Yeshua, Hebrew Aramaic, which was shortened from Yehoshua when translated into Greek for the... Dude, this light is mad bright. Holy fuck. And then into Latin. Jesus. Be completely unaware of it consciously. Your behavior isn't dictated by your consciousness. They are completely separate. I kind of fuck with that statement a little bit. I'm hearing Denver Beak points and also hearing your points. I love it, bro. I love it. Like, genuinely. Like, if one of you says something that, like, makes sense, I won't lie just because it's different than what I, like, tend to believe, you know? Agnostic mean a Gnostic, not Gnostic. Gnostic believes in the monad, an impersonal, natural creator. So agnostic means atheist. I'm friends with Alan Watts' nephew, Devin. Her on YouTube. He is very musical minded. What? That's so cool. Yahweh. Yeah, I see you. Like before you consciously make that decision. Yeshua is literally the sound of a breath. That's pretty far out, man. I read the Bible. Northwoods, where you holler from? Northwoods of Wisconsin here. I'm from the Northwoods of Maine, man. That's literally where the term Northwood came from. Opinion on Elon Musk. Interesting, weird character. Damn, my cats are fighting. I don't have much of a solid opinion on Elon Musk. I think he's doing some pretty fucking cool shit with SpaceX and stuff. Farther north than me, yeah. What animal lays next to the lamb? Agnostic specifically means that you have no reason to believe that there is a God, but you haven't conclusively ruled out the existence of a deity in some form. I mean... No, I'm not an agnostic, because I have more than enough reason in my mind to believe that there is a God, for sure. I forgot the Bible and I've grown closer to God since. Fuck yeah, dude. I love that so much. Yeah, God is no further than your very own sense of being right now. Stella said hi. What's up, Stella? Again, even though you've been hanging out here. Gnosis means source. Agnostics were said to be the first beings to bestow knowledge upon us. Well, it's a pretty practical, matter of fact statement. I have no reason to believe in God, but I don't conclude that there isn't one because I could be shown that there is. That's pretty fucking down to earth. Space exploration, you're bro. Everybody, space exploration's profile picture is me. That's pretty fucking funny. In a theoretical situation, would you kill your own mother to save all of humanity? No. Because if you make a choice on that shit, that's what fucks you, is choosing yes or no. Don't choose anything. And if that means all of humanity dies, you didn't play a part in it. You know? You didn't do anything. So, dude, what do you think about that? Like, your conscious decisions have already been made. Like, the brain is already working and doing stuff before you consciously decide to do something. That's determinism. And, like, it means, like, we don't have free will. I kind of fuck with both. You know? I think we do make choices, but I also think the reason we're making these choices right now is because of a massively laid out web of being, where we're going in a particular direction, and every single one of us, like, you think about lightning bolts. A lightning bolt reaches the ground inevitably. But the path that it takes to the ground is always invariably different. And it's making rapid micro adjustments to get to the ground based off of, like, what? Connection and temperature and whatever. You know, how it looks different. It's never the same fucking bolt. But it's going to the same spot. It's going to the ground. That's what we're doing. We're making all sorts of different choices, but we're all going in the same direction. Not all lightning hits the ground. You know what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying. I'm talking about, like, the path to where it's going. It does so in infinitely unique ways. You see what I'm saying? Like, every bolt. How are you doing, ma'am? I'm doing good, sir. Twin train theory resolves determinism with free will. There's no contrary. Wait, what does that mean? Twin train theory. I don't think there's a resolution, because free will and determinism are one of those non-falsifiable things. And I forget who said it, but somebody said if you can't prove it wrong, it's not science. And both free will and determinism can't be, like, inherently proved wrong, I don't think. That's actually true, though. We have machines that can predict your behavior milliseconds before you're even consciously aware of your decision to do so. Pretty far out. We have free will if it's not attached to any consequences. Like, we talk about free will, but then if I was to tell you to fucking run naked through the grocery store, you'd be like, oh, no, because of X, Y, and Z. Well, yeah, X, Y, and Z is why you don't have free will. Because, kind of like Squirrel Snapper said, consequences and reasons that are literally inhibiting you from being able to execute that choice that you think you have, you know? And that might be a dumb example, but nevertheless, you're not making a decision based off of circumstances, stuff. And that stuff is why you don't have free will, you know? Did you read my comment, dude? It's under Artemis. Let me check. Oh, the reason I asked you, are you atheist or agnostic, is because I think you could be a good Christian. I think you know enough. You just need the right info to believe in Jesus. Well, I believe in God, and I have nothing wrong with Jesus. Ram Dass said it perfectly. He said, Christ is awesome, but Christianity is a drag. Allah is what's up, but Islam is redundant. Like, God is awesome. God is great, But those who say, this is the way, are fucking distracting and distorting everybody. Determinism is falsifiable. As an example, quantum superpositions inherently random outcomes. Well, I'm gonna be that guy and say, like, a random outcome is determined. Determinism doesn't falsify infinity. You see? Random outcomes mean in any way. Yeah, well, it's in infinite ways, different ways every time. That's just infinity. That doesn't mean it's not going to do something. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, determinism and free will are really tricky. I call me insane, think it's both. If you say me and God are gonna, before making any decision, you will make better decisions if the sentence makes good sense. Me and God are gonna rob a bank. Yeah. He gave us free will. Let's say I kidnap you and you are going to love me. That's not real love. So God didn't force us to love him. He wanted us to love him freely with our own choice. No, see, I completely agree. I completely agree that there is free will, but if you heard my lightning bolt analogy, I feel like we're all generally going in the same direction, existentially speaking. So therefore, our choices are just unique ways to get to the same destination. And they all add and take away from the Bible stuff. It's ignorance of methodology for prediction. Once again, man, that's scientists saying we just haven't found the scientific theory to make it make sense for us. Doesn't mean we're wrong. It means we haven't made up the theory for it, you know? But it can't be predicted from any amount of information. It occurs entirely on its own, independent of anything else. But that to me doesn't mean it wasn't determined to happen, you know? Determined doesn't mean independent of cause, you know? Just because something happens because of something else doesn't mean it wasn't determined, you know? Does that make sense? God literally created science first. I love that. Like we talk about natural versus synthetic and we say, oh, that's man-made. But man walking around in a fucking lab coat in his little lab making stuff, he is an extension of God, of nature, creating more stuff. Humans are nature. Where else did we come from? We are nature. It is natural. It doesn't grow on its own, but through us, it was created. There's nothing that's fake. There's just stuff that doesn't grow on a plant, you know? Melanie Object Danganronpa said, hello, what's up? Have you been watching 3i Alice? Not really. We are all one conscious, and however, we all have free will, hence the way we are. I agree. Super boxy, that's the lamest one I've ever seen, bro. Like, what? The evil enters into it when they prefer to the creation out of greed, anger, hatred, and envy. I see your reasoning here, and yes, it could be that if you rewind time over and over, the particles would decay exactly the same way every time, but the only difference is semantic. And that's what so much of it comes down to, is semantics of what words mean to each of us and how we convey it and interpret it. And see, here's the thing to me is God doesn't disprove science. That's the funny part is I know we're talking about free will and determinism, but to bring God back up, God, like, to me, the existence of God doesn't make science untrue, but science tends to, in an almost righteous way, say that science makes God not true. But from where I'm coming from and what I feel God to be, science is just as fucking real as everything else, you know? Megamind is calling, he wants his forehead back. And then it gets deleted. That's hilarious, bro. You make me feel uneasy. Fortunately, Vespucci, this isn't hell. And you can just keep scrolling, man. I wrote a comment about free will. Oops. Basically, what free will is, God tells us we can love him or hate him. We can also pick if we go to heaven or hell based on the things we do and how we live our lives. Yeah. Vespucci says, it's cool, bro. Yeah, man, we're just hanging out talking about God and science and free will and shit. Just for the laughs. Science couldn't even attempt to disprove a God. You can't disprove metaphysics with empirical data. So do scientists tend to just righteously and arrogantly assume God doesn't exist? Or is it because they don't have proof of God? So therefore they're like agnostics. I forget who was bringing up agnostics earlier. Don't let these goofballs get to your head. I do my best, bro. Every Thursday I try really hard not to let them get to my head. The science and creationalism can coexist. It's all a matter of perception. Fuck yeah. I like the fact that you listen to Christians and you know you agree with us, because most streamers, I go on and tell them about Jesus, they will kick me out or curse me out. So you agree to. Well, thank you, man. And also, this is like, these live streams are a place to talk about this stuff. God, spirituality, science, free will, psychology, fucking self-transformation. That's what all this is about. Like, if you go and watch my YouTube videos, I basically just talk about, like, becoming a healthy human being. You know? Are you a pastor? No. He's a pastor. That's funny, reading it in that order. The best scientists ever also believe in an uncaused cause, Platonic forms. Science does not presuppose anything other than that logic is a reliable tool. The lack of data is what disproves the metaphysical. Well, that's fair. It's only fair. I feel that. I think what gets a lot of people is, like, believing in God is one thing, but having direct experiences in your life that point to something just undeniably beyond any conception, any scientific conception, that is what breaks people away from atheism. That is what converts somebody to believing there's gotta be something more than just fucking accidental, blind chemicals bumping into each other. You see what I'm saying? Proud that I started us off on this topic. Are you the one that led us in the direction of talking about God? Because, yeah. Dude, the fact that your fucking profile picture is me is pretty funny. You can't disprove metaphysics with physical data. It is beyond realm of physicality, the argument of the fundamental particle behavior. Logic is precisely the tool for metaphysics. What about, when you're talking about metaphysics, what about intuition and direct subjective experience? Because that's not a tool for real physics and shit, you know? They don't like your experience of it. They like the objective experience of it. Well, dude, I gotta go. I'm glad I came on here because you talk with sense. So I hope that maybe one day you will follow Christ. But later, dude, God bless you. So much love to you, Roxy. Thank you for hanging out. And I hope to see you in the next live stream. Even if you don't believe in God, he still believes in you. I know this because you woke up today. I fuck with that. Like I said, Daddy, Elo, I fuck with basically everything you keep saying. The plural of anecdote isn't evidence. Statistics takes precedence over personal experience. Why is that, though? Because personal experience is evidence to that person. You know? And like, no, my personal experience doesn't control your personal experience, but like, after all, personal experience is why science is even a thing, because of awareness of experience at all. Can we do music? Math is the classic example. It's not empirical evidence because that's the wrong tool for meta. Devin, how do you know any of us are even real and that you aren't the only real human, whereas everyone else is an AI/NPC? You can't know that, but I take it that you feel like that's it. That's one of those non-falsifiable things, and that's what creates solipsism, and that's what makes people lose their fucking minds and makes people think they're the chosen one and all that kind of stuff, is because I can't prove you exist in the same way I do, and in that same way, vice versa, you can't prove that I exist in the same way that you do. But I'm going to just go off of my fucking instincts here and say that you feel like you're in your head, behind your eyes, looking out of your eyes, experiencing reality as a subjective self. I'm not going to assume that you don't experience that. That's just like pointless. You're presupposing that logic is a product of What did I say? I forget what I said. I've been saying so much shit. Someone told me the Bible said God said, worlds without number I have created. Yo, GT, what's up, bro? I'm going to get moving here soon, guys. It's been a minute. How does the first physical thing know how to behave? There's a logic. Like, math is true, even if humans don't exist. Okay, so what you're calling, that's a very interesting question. How does the first physical thing know how to behave? You call it logic. I call it God. I call it, I mean, and I could still call it logic too. But like, it's the mind of God. It's the mind of the divine. It's the mind of the ineffable. Science studies all of the aspects of the physical space. So what we refer to as the source of creation, aka God, is rooted outside of the physical space. Quantum physics and metaphysics are two very separate things. It is adequately described by quantum physics. It is adequately described by quantum physics without the invocation of a deity. Well, see, that's what's far out, is that when I say God, I'm not referring to a deity. I literally think that God is existence itself. And that the reason it's behaving the way it is because of I don't know. Nobody knows. We don't know what this is. It's fucking magical. That's why I think God exists. It's magical. And you don't know what it is. It's unwordable. How do you have a relationship with God? Because of just certain experiences I've had in spiritual absorption and psychedelic ecstasy and perception of meaning inherent in my life and all these kinds of things. W Livestream, I'm glad fate brought me upon it, and it was a pleasure conversating with you and everyone else. Yeah, it's been awesome talking with you too, man. For real. The opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference. I would rather you hated me than if you had no feeling whatsoever. I feel that. Anyways, battery's running low. Gotta bounce. Denver, thank you for such an awesome, thought-provoking conversation, bro. Yo, what's up? Says EON. How are you? Somewhere described God as an ocean and the individual as a drop of water falling into it to merge with its wonder beauty. Whew. All right, I think I'm going to get moving, guys. It's been an awesome live stream. I'm tired. I'm ready for my weekend. I'm literally going to end this live stream, put everything away, and go to bed. Be cool, bruhs. Yes, sir. We should roll up. Nah, I don't sub to anyone, but I'm taking a chance on you. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, the content that I post on YouTube is a little bit different than what we typically talk about on the live streams. But yeah, man, every Thursday I go live, hang out, and it's different every fucking time. The stuff we talk about, but it tends to go in a particular direction, kind of similar. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. My name is Devin. I run the YouTube channel Northwood Shaman. I go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. And just a little bit of housekeeping real quick. I have a Discord community that's a steadily where at any time throughout the week, threads on all the stuff we've touched on today. There is a thread on my Discord community. So if you're familiar with Discord and want to keep in touch and hang out and talk with like-minded individuals, check my bio on my YouTube channel and you'll see a link that says join the Inner Shift Society. You click that, it'll take you to a page, put in your email, and then it brings you to a page to join into the Discord in there. So yeah, I hope to see you on the other side. We'll keep in touch if I do see you over there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys hopefully in some YouTube comments, or if not, maybe in next week's live stream. What's Discord? Yeah, anybody wanting to join the Discord, just go to my YouTube channel and click the bio, and you'll see a link that says join the Inner Shift Society. Click that, and it will take you all the way through to the Discord. I genuinely hope to see you guys in there. But yeah, I hope to see you in some comments, and if not, I'll see you next Thursday on the live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been real. You guys stay cool. Have a good one. No Discord in bio. Yeah, it's not a Discord link. It's it'll take you to this page. It's like a landing page. One thought, ready to speak your mind. All right. I hope to see you guys in there. If you have a hard time, just hit me up on Instagram or something at Northwood Shaman. But